In this video, we'll be taking a look at two college basketball games happening on January 20th, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these two college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Georgetown versus Villanova. The Georgetown Hoyas, currently boasting a 12-6 record with a 3-4 standing in Big East Conference play, are headed to Philadelphia for a matchup against the Villanova Wildcats, who hold a 12-7 record and a 5-3 Big East standing. When these two teams faced off last season, Villanova emerged victorious in both encounters, winning by margins of at least 16 points in each game. Most recently, Georgetown suffered a disappointing home loss to DePaul, falling 73-68 despite being favored by 5.5 points. Meanwhile, Villanova secured a close home victory over Providence with a score of 75-73, though they narrowly missed covering the spread as 8.5-point favorites. This season, the Georgetown Hoyas hold a 12-6 record, placing them in 7th in the competitive Big East standings. Their most recent game was a loss to DePaul, where they fell 73-68. In betting terms, the Hoyas are 10-8 against the spread and have an over/under record of 5-13. On the road, Georgetown has struggled with a 2-3 record away from home. Offensively, the team averages 73 points per game, placing them at 233rd in the nation, while their defense allows an average of 64 points per game, ranking 26th nationally. In terms of shooting, Georgetown converts 46.3% of their field goal attempts, placing them 110th, and their three-point shooting sits at 31.8%, which ranks 288th. From the free throw line, they maintain a 72% conversion rate, ranked 174th, and they average 37.6 rebounds per game, which is the 93rd best mark nationally. The Hoyas are coming off back-to-back losses to DePaul and St. John's and face a challenging schedule ahead, with upcoming games against Providence, St. John's, and Butler. The Villanova Wildcats enter this contest with a 12-7 record, good for 5th place in the Big East standings. Their most recent game was a hard-fought victory over Providence, which ended 75-73 in favor of the Wildcats. On the season, Villanova is 10-9 against the spread and has a favorable over/under record of 13-6. Their home performance has been particularly impressive, with a dominant 10-1 record at the Wells Fargo Center. Offensively, the Wildcats average 78 points per game, which ranks 108th nationally. Defensively, they allow 68 points per game, putting them at 86th in the country. Villanova's field goal shooting is highly efficient at 47.9%, which ranks 49th in the nation. Even more impressively, their three-point shooting stands at an elite 41.3%, the 5th best in the nation. They excel at the free throw line as well, converting 80.1% of their attempts, making them the 7th best team in the nation in that category. However, their rebounding could use improvement, as they average just 34.8 boards per game, ranked 248th nationally. The Wildcats have experienced a mixed bag of results recently, including a loss to Xavier and wins over Providence, with upcoming games against Marquette, Creighton, and DePaul. Georgetown appeared to be off to a promising start this season, but their success was somewhat misleading due to their weak non-conference schedule, which Ken Palm ranked as 361st in difficulty. The Hoyas opted for a less challenging slate in the preseason to secure wins, but this strategy has backfired in conference play, as evidenced by their recent 4-game losing streak. During this stretch, Georgetown has struggled against the league's stronger teams. Villanova, sitting 5th in the Big East, is on the cusp of joining the top 4 teams, all of whom are projected to make the NCAA tournament. The Wildcats understand the importance of holding their ground at home against Georgetown. Villanova also boasts the nation's leading scorer, who will be matched against a freshman, creating a clear advantage. Additionally, Dixon's ability to stretch the floor with improved three-point shooting while maintaining his dominance in the paint poses a significant challenge for Sorber. This game marks the first of 2 meetings between the teams this season. Last year, Villanova swept Georgetown with 2 dominant wins, outscoring them by an average of 22 points per game. Although Villanova Villanova has occasionally struggled against strong defensive teams. Georgetown's potential injury issues, possibly sidelining key players like Sorber and Jaden Epps, could simplify matters for the Wildcats. So the Villanova Wildcats to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. This matchup features a clash of playing styles, with Villanova having the clear edge as the home team with control over the game's tempo. Known for their deliberate pace, Villanova ranks 349th nationally in tempo and prefers to slow things down to maximize their offensive efficiency. They often rely on Dixon, their top scorer, to find ways to produce points either in the post or through pick and pop situations. While it is uncommon for the nation's leading scorer to play for a team with such a slow pace, Dixon's methodical approach aligns perfectly with Villanova's strategy. Georgetown, on the other hand, is not particularly strong offensively, and they have struggled recently, losing their last 4 games while ranking just 159th in offensive efficiency. They also play at a relatively moderate pace, ranking 155th nationally. When these teams faced off last year, their 2 matchups combined for an average of only 123 points, largely because Villanova's defense held Georgetown to a mere 50.5 points per game. While the Hoyas' offense has shown improvement compared to last year, they have faced significant difficulties in conference play, averaging just 63 points per game over their last 4 contests. Injuries to key players are also likely to impact Georgetown's offensive output. The Hoyas rank 155th in tempo, according to Ken Palm, meaning they are unlikely to speed up the pace of play significantly. Villanova, with one of the slowest paces in the nation, ranked 349th overall, will likely dictate the tempo. Notably, the under has hit in 5 of the last 6 games between these 2 teams. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Rutgers versus Penn State. In December, the Rutgers Scarlet Knights achieved a hard-fought 80-76 victory at home against the Penn State Nittany Lions. This upcoming matchup will be held at the Bryce Jordan Center, where the Nittany Lions will aim to even the score. The Penn State Nittany Lions are currently 12-6 for the season after suffering a narrow loss to Michigan State by a score of 90-85 in their most recent game. At halftime, they were down 46-36, but they fought back in the second half, scoring 49 points. Penn State finished the game shooting an impressive 52.8% from the field, 41.7% from beyond the arc, and 76% from the free throw line. Before that loss, the Nittany Lions fell to Oregon by a slim 82-81 margin and were decisively beaten by Illinois with a score of 91-52. As a result, Penn State is currently on a 4-game losing streak, with their only 2 conference wins coming against Northwestern and Purdue. Throughout this season, Penn State has averaged 84 points per game while allowing 72 points per game. Additionally, they have been averaging 36 rebounds and 17.2 assists per game. This season, they are shooting 48.8% from the field, 75.6% from the free throw line, and 34% from three-point range. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights are 10-8 on the year, following an 85-82 victory over Nebraska in their last game. Rutgers held a slim 40-37 lead at halftime and scored 45 points in the second half to secure the victory. They shot 49.3% from the field, 41.4% from beyond the three-point line, and 50% from the charity stripe. Prior to that win, the Scarlet Knights defeated UCLA 75-68, although they lost to Purdue by a score of 68-50 in the game before that. Rutgers has dropped 3 of their last 5 games, but they do have a significant win over Penn State, having defeated them 80-76 in their first meeting. So far this season, the Scarlet Knights have been averaging 77 points per game while allowing 75 points per game. They also averaged 37.1 rebounds and 13.3 assists per game. Rutgers is shooting 44.9% from the field, 69.2% from the free throw line, and 33.1% from three-point range this season. Today, as we celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. Day, witness a presidential inauguration, and enjoy the excitement of the College Football National Championship, the Big Ten is squeezing in some basketball action in the midst of it all. This marks the second meeting of the season between these two teams, with Rutgers securing a narrow 80-76 victory in the first contest in December. The game now shifts to State College, where the Nittany Lions will be looking for revenge. Both teams are known for their fast-paced playing styles, pushing the tempo and getting up and down the court. Penn State plays at one of the quickest paces in the country, regularly scoring and allowing 80-plus points per game. It's their defensive struggles, struggles, especially during their current 4-game losing streak, that have been their biggest downfall. On the other hand, Rutgers recently scored 85 points in a win over Nebraska, and this game is likely to have a similar feel. The Scarlet Knights are riding a 2-game winning streak and seem to be finding their rhythm. While Penn State's overall season statistics are promising, their recent performances have been underwhelming, particularly on the defensive side. Though losing to Michigan State, Oregon, and Illinois is not a huge concern, their defensive struggles during those losses are hard to ignore. In their previous matchup on December 10th, Rutgers edged out Penn State with an 80-76 victory. Bailey and Harper played pivotal roles in that win, combining for 39 points on 50% shooting from the field and grabbing 27 rebounds. Despite committing 14 turnovers, Rutgers controlled the game from start to finish, winning the rebounding battle by 14. Neither of these teams has been consistently dominant in Big Ten play, but the duo of Bailey and Harper might be one of the most difficult pairs to stop in the conference. The freshman duo has shown significant improvement and growing comfort since their first meeting, and Rutgers is starting to see better production from their bench players. Penn State, on the other hand, has had major issues defensively, particularly in conference play, where they are allowing 81 points per game. Furthermore, the Nittany Lions are now without Puff Johnson, their 6'8" forward who was averaging 10 points per game and was considered the team's best wing defender. This is a significant blow for Penn State. Rutgers, coming off a road victory and having already beaten Penn State earlier this season, is well positioned to continue their offensive success against the struggling Nittany Lions defense. Expect the Scarlet Knights offense to put up 80-plus points, keeping them in the game and potentially securing another win. Meanwhile, despite Penn State's offensive abilities, they have yet to surpass 85 points in Big Ten play, which has not been enough to secure victories, as reflected in their current 2-5-0 stretch against the spread. In their first matchup, Rutgers limited Penn State to just 9 free throw attempts and 3 offensive rebounds, and they will look to replicate that defensive performance. I believe that Rutgers will continue to get plenty of points, and I don't foresee this game playing out much differently than the first encounter, so the Rutgers Scarlet Knights to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both teams have shown stronger offensive than defensive performances in Big Ten play, and I anticipate a high-scoring game in this matchup. Rutgers boasts a dynamic duo that averages nearly 40 points per game and shoots over 47% from the field. One of the major challenges for the Scarlet Knights this season has been getting consistent production from their role players, but in recent games, they have begun to see improved efficiency and contributions from the bench. Penn State, in contrast, is a well-balanced team with 6 players averaging 10 or more points per game. The Nittany Lions have managed to score 80 points or more in 3 of their last 5 games, and they have been particularly effective shooting the ball at home. However, they have also allowed 80 points or more in 4 of their last 5 contests. Both teams love to play at a fast pace, with Penn State ranking 32nd in the nation in possessions per game, and Rutgers not far behind at 87th. These teams rely heavily on their offenses and will undoubtedly push the pace, leading to a high-scoring affair. Expect both teams to surpass 80 points in this contest. In their first meeting, Rutgers managed to score 80 points against Penn State. The Nittany Lions' defense has been vulnerable, allowing an average of 82 points per game to conference opponents. On the other hand, Rutgers' defense has allowed 81 points per game on the road, including giving up at least 80 points in every away game against Big Ten teams. Given the pace and the scoring trends of both teams, this game is expected to surpass the projected total. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.